Hi again, my name is David Clark. I'm here to present my third speech to you guys, and here are my 6 people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Our speech today is about policy change. My policy change is over the topic about texting and driving. Texting and driving is a very popular subject nowadays because texting and smartphones have become very popular over the years. In Missouri, in Kansas City, Missouri, the law states that you're allowed to text and drive if you're at least over the age of 22 and older. So it's stating that teens and people of the ages 21, you are not allowed to text in the state of Missouri. So this law is pretty much stating that it is okay to be inattentive while driving if you're older than the age of 22. I think, to me, that law should be changed because it isn't right to have drivers texting or on their phones or anything, and it should be outlawed because it's more dangerous and unsafe for our drivers. Some things that need to be addressed in Missouri for the law change: we have to bring up the number of deaths that happen every single year. There's about approximately 3,331 deaths every year that involves a distracted driver. And approximately 71% of these young adults have easily admitted that they feel confident or somewhat easy about texting while driving. And saying that, I feel as though that kind of brings to a sense like, well, do they think it's actually okay? To me, the policy change would be very important. It makes our drivers safe, it makes our community feel safe, and it will probably lessen the injuries of people in our community as well as our environment. Because if you think about it, our environment also gets hurt too, by us and by the people that are in the environment that could be struck by vehicles or oncoming cars. Approximately 2010, there was 416,000 injuries that were related to texting and driving. 42% of the drivers are either adults or people between the ages of 25 and 39, and 72% of the population was either 39 through 47. And that's kind of saying a lot. I'm not saying that teen drivers are ultimately better than adult drivers. I'm just saying that a relevance of a teen driver to start texting, they bring up habits from their parents that they see them do over the years. So as they turn 22, they're already feel as though they're comfortable driving, so they think it's okay and they think they're experts. But our research has shown that if you take 5 seconds, your eyes 5 seconds off the road, and you're traveling approximately 55 miles per hour, you could travel the length of a football field blindfolded. And just to put that in perspective, I would think that's really dangerous. I don't see how that could not be dangerous. And also, I think the first 3 steps we have to do in changing these laws or law is to educate the public. You have to educate the public on how it not only affects the participants that are involved in car accidents, but it also affects the people that are also like family members and peers. If you get struck by a family member or someone else, ultimately it affects your relationships, your social relationships, your friendships, etc. Step 2, with this new law, you have to make harsher punishments, because I believe the punishments today are kind of easily paid off or appealed off. I believe a new punishment should be formed, that like the fine should be higher, and revoking of your license should be in consideration, because you are putting lives in danger. I believe, with saying this, I think our law enforcement should be held at a higher standard, because they're ultimately the people that will be giving out this harsh crimes. I believe for the first offense, you should be fined approximately $200, not $2,000, sorry, but $200, and of course a ticket or a citation for just giving the legal right that they caught you at least one time for texting and driving. I think the second offense should be at least $350 or $400, and your license should be suspended for 30 days. Some people may say that's kind of unfair and harsh, but I think if our society gives us at least 43% say they are comfortable texting and driving, they are pretty much perceiving the idea of texting and driving not to be as serious as taking someone's life. My third offense I believe, should be suspending the license either indefinitely, depending on the situation, but given that we have rights in America, we should also have the ability to appeal it and to voice our opinion, because that's what our rights are about in the United States. With saying this, there are more fatalities we learned from the adults that we can text and drive, and the reason for it is because if we're teenagers, we are inexperienced, so we think we're as good as our parents, but we're not. We oftentimes see our parents be successful while texting and driving, while we've probably only had 2 and 3 years underneath the wheel or behind the wheel, and both sides it is just not okay. So I think the ultimate decision here is just to outlaw it completely. Missouri is one of the 9 states in the United States that does allow the usage of cell phones while driving. I think to eliminate this problem, you just have to eliminate it just broad and outlaw it completely, because it kind of shows discrimination to saying, well, since you only have 4 years of experience, you're not okay to be an attentive driver. And if you're 22 and above, like, oh, it's okay. But in my thought process, as we get older, we tend to slow down, our reflexes slow down. But while we're younger, we're more daring and courageous, and we think we can take on the world. So on both sides, we all do need to just turn our phones off and pay attention to the road. So in conclusion, I would love to change the policy and law of the state of Missouri to change texting and driving to be completely outlawed. And that's all.